Ruth. I would like you to.
For me to shine a light on the fact that of our panel, you would possibly be in the market for looking for a husband.
I'm definitely in the market for looking for a husband.
What about that? Hang out in a park bench?
I selected some of my favourites.
Yeah.
Practice drinking with your women friends before you drink with him. Okay. Take good care of your health. Men don't like women who are ill. Okay.
Oh my God.
Tell his friends nice things about him. That's definitely going to work. But my favourite was get lost at football games.
What?
Get lost at football, which is brilliant because I actually attended my first Dublin football match.
Did you?
At the weekend. Well, what happened was... Well, I did kind of get lost. My friend went with her husband to Dalymount Park to see Bohs Fc play, and she was like, I know where all the single men are. They're up here. Get up here right now. So me and my other friend were like, let's go. We went up, and they have a bar in Dalymount Park. It's like the membership bar or whatever. Yeah. And so it was filled with like loads of great men, but they were not interested in any women. No, they were just so happy that the league was over. And
not even in the chats or swapping out a phone number? Or...
No. And I actually had the best night ever. It was brilliant. So I actually would recommend getting lost at football games.
Okay, so there's something practical in that. Aileen, you want to turn on the waterworks when you need to de-stress? Lydia's already nodding her head.
I'm nodding. I'm a big fan. I actually have done loads of, well, not research, but I've read loads of articles about crying for stressful situations. Right. And I actually brought in a little fact.
Oh, good.
It's called reflex tears, and they're 98% water, but they're 2% stress hormones. So when you cry, it actually relieves like a stress hormone, which gets excreted through the tear or whatever. And crying simulates a production of endorphins, which is obviously a natural painkiller, and a feel-good hormone. And I do, if I get a stressful situation, I'll have a little cry.
Are you able to make yourself, like, to tip yourself into crying if you know, like, oh, I feel rubbish and I know I'll feel better after I get a bit of this out? Yeah, well, to be quite serious for what, about 4 years ago, I went to therapy. I went to therapy for 6 months. I literally just went, not for a particular reason, just because everything was kind of cloudy and like it was kind of everyone was going, you know, go to therapy. So I'm going to try this out. It turned out to be the best thing that I ever done because my therapist taught me about mindfulness, meditation, and breathing techniques and coping mechanisms. What I found is when I used to get stressed, I didn't breathe properly and it got too much, and you know. And one of the things that she taught me was when you got upset and you were thinking about things, to get into like a safe space, so like bed or wherever it might be, wrap yourself up in a big blanket, think about it, breathe, and then I just naturally start crying. And I cry for a couple of minutes and then I feel like absolutely brand new after. Yeah, and I actually, like, you know, when people are upset and that my friends are, I'm like, have a little cry. Come on, we have a little cry together. You know, I really recommend it. Yeah, Eileen, so would we be in favour of Lydia sitting in our underpantses, having a beverage?
Ruth, as I said to you on the break, I've been doing this for years, and I can only recommend the health benefits. But yeah, I think we've been doing that for years, haven't we? Not sitting in our underpants drinking wine.
I haven't reached that point yet, but maybe I'll try it this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And my housemate actually likes to, she does embroidery, and she likes to work while sitting watching TV in her underpants.
In her underpants?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, it's actually, there's a Scandinavian word for it. It's fault.
We had a good chat beforehand. We were talking about social media. I was saying to Eileen, you know, are you, because obviously she was telling me about like being a singer, and I was like, are you on? She's like, not at all, you know, and I wouldn't. And I was like, I would love to have that. Like, my whole job, MMA Connect TV, is online. You know, every day I'm on my phones or a laptop, and I'd love to, you know, be able to do my business and not have to be honest. Now, I have to say, my own personal accounts, I don't really follow people, you know, so I wouldn't follow, like...
Do you not? God, I love a good nosy.
Oh, I do have a little creep every now and then. But yeah, no, I don't follow people, and I purposely, for that reason, I don't want to be interested in what other people are doing or making, you know, of course it's going to make you feel better. Everyone puts their best life online, you know.
What about the other side of things?
The victims.
You flew the nest. Were you booted out the door?
No, not at all. I was literally like, they tried to hold on to me as long as possible. And now I'm a victim of it. Yeah, my poor mom. Yeah, like my mom, both myself and my brother live in Dublin, and our parents are in Waterford. That's where we grew up. And yeah, my mom would love it if I rang in the morning and was like, I'm moving back. Oh,
really?
Oh. Because like with the rent, my house that I was renting got sold recently, and I had to get a new place. And I was like, Mom, the rent, hundreds of euro, and I can't find her. Come home. come home.
Really?
That double room was always there for you, you know. You're like, you'd have everything, all this is around, blah, blah.
Would you ever be tempted?
Not at all. I love Dublin. I love my life in Dublin. I love the independence. I love living in Dublin.
So when you left home then, what age were you?
Well, I moved, I told the story the last time, on the last Elaine show I was on, I moved to London when I was 19, and...
That's a good step away from Waterford.
Oh, yeah, like literally, like, I had 2 friends that were moving to London, and I was like, I'm all guns, let's go. And I came home after like 7 months, and I was like, okay, that swallowed me up. And another friend of mine was like, I'm going to college in Dublin, starting in September, I'm after getting a twin room, do you want to take the spare room? This is when we were like 20, 21. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And I've been here ever since, 14 years.
I love how sometimes life's decisions are just, I'm doing this, do you want to do it with me?
Yeah.
We just get on this bus and go.
Yeah. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. They all moved back home to Waterford after college. And I was just like, no, I kind of like it. I got a job in Terror Records, so I was getting into music.
Do they all come up now and visit you on the weekend? Because they're like...
Yeah, and they're all starting to have kids now, and they're looking at me, they're like, oh my God, like your life is so exciting. And I'm like...
They may start to get you babysitting. That'd be the thing,
absolutely not. Imagine me. I'd be like, yeah, I'm taking them to an MMA show this weekend.
That would be an interesting way to get out of the babysitting. Right, that's it from us today. Thank you to all my guests here in studio. We'll see you back here tomorrow with the boys at 3 o'clock.